Cyrax gameplay trailer dropping around lunchtime, and Ed Boon teasing the likes of Chucky, Invincible, Kid Thunder, and Blanche as potential Combat Pack 2 cameo fighters. All in the last 12 hours. Hey, what's up? It's Dynasty with a quick update in regards to Mortal Kombat 1 MK Uno because, like I just mentioned initially, about 12 hours ago, the official Mortal Kombat account came out and confirmed at the time that the trailer for Cyrax would be dropping at 8 a.m. Central Time, and shortly after that, they came out and said, update, the Cyrax trailer is coming August 15th at 11 a.m. PT, 1 p.m. CT. See you then. As far as I can remember, this is probably the latest they've ever dropped a gameplay trailer. Maybe apart from the actual reveal of Khaos Reigns. Typically, it's always just been 8 a.m. So I'm not entirely too sure why they're delaying this trailer, but regardless, you don't have to wake up early to watch this trailer. You could just go about your day, and around lunchtime, 1 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. PT, 2 p.m. Eastern, the trailer will be out for Cyrax. Again, it's meant to be a full gameplay showcase of everything Cyrax has to offer in the KP2, along with some type of story element to it as well, which has me more intrigued than the actual gameplay for Cyrax. I want to see more Khaos Reigns. I want to see how the Cyber Lin Kuei comes to be. More details on that. Obviously, we have the leaked details courtesy of the data mines for the day the game dropped, but you know, things are always subject to change, right? So I'm just intrigued to see how we got to this point. I want to see the new lore of this new take on Cyrax. So yeah, I'm hyped for the actual story aspects of the trailer. Also, like I mentioned, really hard to just not mention it, Ed Boon, out of nowhere, just dropping the heat, came out and said this earlier this afternoon. In a meeting of design, we threw around ideas for Mortal Kombat 1 Year 2, aka Khaos Reigns cameo fighters. Some names that came up included Blanche, the MKX old lady from the Outworld Marketplace. God, I miss Blanche. Blanche is awesome. Stage brutal she had. Good times, man. Feels like just yesterday. Kid Thunder, Raiden's Mortal Kombat 2 friendship, and I believe back in Mortal Kombat 11 he also made an appearance. Invincible from, well, Invincible, aka Omni-Man's son. And lastly, number 4, which I think is exciting, Chucky. Who would you want to see most? There would be some great team-ups, Raiden plus Kid Thunder, Omni-Man plus Invincible, Ghostface plus Chucky, anybody plus Blanche. Now, at this point in time, there's been 40,000 plus votes, and I voted for Chucky. I know, I'm a filthy casual. I voted for a guest character. Hashtag confirmed, not a real Mortal Kombat fan. I'm just intrigued to see Chucky in a Mortal Kombat game. If I had my pick, we'd always just get horror characters as guests in Mortal Kombat, but sadly, that's not the case. You get your action movie stars and things of that sort. But for me, I just feel like horror characters just fit right in with like the campiness and blood and gore aspect of Mortal Kombat. For me, it just seems like a match made in heaven. Going back to Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Ghostface. Wish it was Michael. But Chucky. Chucky is perfect when I think of Mortal Kombat guest characters. And I know that's probably making you cringe if you hate guest characters. If you hate guest characters, nothing I'm about to say is going to appease you, so just click off the video. You won't be upset. You'll be saving yourself some time. But we talked about it for about a year now. Like, the idea of Chucky being a cameo fighter, Boon mentioned pre-launch that he was open to the idea of actually having guest cameo fighters, and that just seemed like, again, a match made in heaven. You can't necessarily have somebody who's like 2 foot tall, maybe, as a primary fighter, but Pharaoh recently as a cameo fighter, she's a bit shorter than the rest of the cast and works fine. Matter of fact, kind of like the new meta. So we've already seen Pharaoh, who's a bit smaller, work out perfectly fine as a cameo fighter. Make Chucky more or less the same height, size, and I think you got yourself a pretty solid cameo fighter. And again, it's funny because we always mention Chucky and Ghostface synonymously together, and to see that in this tweet from Ed Boon is, it's kind of like a full circle moment, I think. Chucky was back in Terradrome. Ghostface is back in Terradrome, the free-to-play game. Had all those horror icons from way back in the day. Always wanted to see Chucky and Ghostface tag along, and I do think if that was to happen, at least me, I'd be pretty happy. And according to you guys, at least 33% or so would agree with me. Number 1 is Invincible, which I think is kind of lame. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. You know, I don't really understand why we've got the superheroes in a Mortal Kombat game. Like, I get it, the closest thing to get the likes of like a Superman clone in Mortal Kombat, other than MK versus DC, which was rated T. I get it, but I would rather just have like Invincible do a crossover in Injustice or something. Kid Thunder would be cool, I guess, but I mean, Blanche would be goated, just because MKX is my personal favorite modern Mortal Kombat game, and when I think of just MKX and Blanche and all the memes from back in the day, like, if you weren't there, you probably don't get it, but there was a whole, you know, meme with Blanche, and oh man, it really does make me miss 2015, 16. Again, feels like just yesterday. So, you know, Madame Bo and Blanche on the same roster would be peak, but even just Blanche, that would be peak. At this point in time, I feel like more people are aware of Madame Bo than Blanche, which is kind of sad, because I feel like Blanche is like the OG NPC character to get a little meme out of it. But there you go, Boon's back. And I just think it's also interesting because obviously we've talked about it on the channel in the press release, the marketing for the Chaos Reigns Combat Pack 2 DLC, which I wish they would just call Combat Pack 2. You know, like, it's technically called Combat Pack 2, yet in this tweet, labeled as Year 2, Chaos Reigns. Should just be called Combat Pack 2. So much easier for everybody. I wish that we got confirmation if we were getting cameo fighters. Safe to say that means that they're going to be separate if they do happen. Again, we have no confirmation that we're getting any new cameo fighters, yet Boon is like, oh, we talked about it with the team. And then it's like, okay, well then what? What did you come up with? Are they free? Do they come as parts of the DLC pack? Do I have to buy them separately? I don't know. I think personally it's kind of in poor taste to pose a question like this when you're already charging so much for a DLC pack, you know, Year 2 KP2. And I guess we're just gonna have to bust out another 10, 15, 20 bucks for some cameo fighters when a lot of you guys don't even like the cameo system. You feel me? So, you know, if they're sold separately, not gonna lie, that would kind of piss me off. It kind of would. Told you this was gonna happen. I told you this was gonna happen, and it seems like maybe it's going to. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're not sold separate, but with them not being present in any of the marketing, any of the press releases, like, oh, unannounced 4 or 5 cameo fighters, dude, I would not get my hopes up and think that if there are new cameo fighters dropping, they're going to be included with the actual pass. You probably have to buy them separate. So, and again, with the rumors and talk that WB is trying to sell studios and licenses, I mentioned in that video a couple of days ago, kind of explains why WB's just pretty much nickel and diming the Mortal Kombat fans, because this might be the last time Mortal Kombat is underneath the WB umbrella. So they're going to take the live service approach and, you know, take all your money. $10 fatalities. $10 skins. Who knows how much this cameo expansion pack is going to cost? And haven't watched anyone else talk about this, but hopefully they're being real and honest and bringing that up too. You know, the pricing for the Chaos Reigns DLC is already really expensive. To have to drop another $10 to $15 for these other additional characters, that is insane. That would be insane to think that the actual DLC pack for Year 2 would be more, you know, would cost more than the actual worth of the game day one. Like, I can't wrap my head around that. The DLC is going to cost more potentially than the actual game at launch. That is crazy. I can't believe we got to that point. Not surprised, but I just, wow, gaming in 2024. So hate to be doom and gloom here, but, you know, as much as I want to see Chucky, boy, do I wish he was just added in the DLC pack and not separate. Again, speculation here. By all accounts, seems like it's going to be separate, but if only somebody could clarify this instead of just asking what guest we want in a Mortal Kombat game. All right, they stuck around. There you go. I personally would not want to have guests, but if I had to have guests, I want horror characters. Okay, there you go. But guys, that's all I got for y'all today. Tomorrow at around lunchtime, 1 p.m. CT, Cyrax gameplay trailer is dropping. Ed Boon is back teasing another way for you to spend your hard-earned money. What do y'all think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, it takes you a second. Drop a like on it. Subscribe for more MK content like this on the channel. Until next time, I'm your husband, Dynasty. You guys, please take care, stay safe. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, living on it crack, but I'm not superstitious.